Mets are on their way to the National League Championship Series. A victory on Thursday night in Los Angeles against the Dodgers propels the Mets now to a marquee matchup in the NLCS against the Cubs. For Mets fans that have waited forever for this, it does not get any better. And this team has captivated baseball fans because of the way they've played, how they've come together, and the different personalities that have made up one of the most unlikely teams we've seen in the League Championship Series in about 19 years. The 2015 New York Mets are starting to resemble another team from New York that went on to win a world championship in a year few expected it to happen, especially through the ebbs and flows of the season. If you look at the Mets and the way they've gotten here right now, how they have approached this season, how they've changed this team, how they've persevered, it is hard not to look back and remember the 1996 Yankees. Same city, different teams, 19 years apart, but it's hard not to see how these teams are so intertwined, so interconnected with the way they were built and the way they play the game. And really on top of all that, the way they've captivated fans in New York. In 96, the Yankees won 92 games. This year, the Mets win 90 games. That year in 96, the Yankees had 4 homegrown young players that were on their way to becoming the core of what was a dynasty. Derek Jeter, Bernie Williams, Andy Pettitte, of course, Mariano Rivera in the bullpen. This Mets team, we'll see if they become a dynasty, but you could certainly see those youngsters that are here now and have the ability to be on this team and play major roles for a very long time. From Noah Syndergaard throwing gas out of the bullpen last night, Travis d'Arnaud behind the plate, DeGrom, who started that game, Matt Harvey, who will start Game 1 of the NLCS, Steven Matz, Conforto in the lineup. The Mets are set up to be good, just like that Yankees team was for a while here. You have the managers, and last night just watching Terry Collins just be so emotional on the field, you think back to what Joe Torre was when he got to the Yankees, a career loser as a manager. That's what people said Terry Collins was when he arrived in New York, a guy that would never win. They'd have to replace him at some point. He was just a guy that, for whatever reason, could not manage his way to big games, that could not win big games. Well, that monkey's off his back now, just like it was as Torre matriculated through the postseason in 1996. Collins is a major story. Torre was a major story back then. They wrestled the American League East, the Yankees in 96 from the O's, a team that was perceived to be more talented in that season. Same thing this year with the Mets, and especially those wins on the road in Washington, eerily reminiscent of the Yankees going down to Camden Yards and winning big games late in the 1996 season. And then on top of it all, line up a deep bench, and it felt like a different contributor every night won the game for the 96 Yankees. For the Mets, it's been the same way here. Daniel Murphy, a guy we talk about, but not at the top of the list of big-time Mets, was the standout star of Game 5, and he's been the standout star of the League Division Series. As you ride the wave of emotion watching the 2015 Mets, and you watch the fans, baseball fans in New York, just lose it watching them, it's hard not to look back and say 19 years ago, this script, we already saw this movie. It played out. It was a world championship for the New York Yankees. 19 years later, now the Mets sit in that position.